Hi guys, it's Megan from Skinny Delicious. Happy New Year! I just wanted to jump on Facebook Live today and talk to you about how to build healthy habits that last. So this morning I was teaching another spin class and I had another participant in my class ask me a question about building healthy habits. I guess it's the weekend for questions because I've had a lot of these type of questions from people in my exercise classes, which is great. I think it's great that this is on people's mind and it's something I love to talk about, of course. So I thought I would pop on Facebook Live and answer the question for you guys as well. So this person was wanting to know, how do I build healthy habits that are really going to last for me long term? And this is a difficult question, but it actually is kind of easy. So the big thing I recommend to anyone who wants to build a healthy habits is to really find things that you love. Really take the time to experiment with different exercises, different foods. You may surprise yourself once you get outside of your comfort zone. Things that may have seemed uncomfortable to you may be totally comfortable for you. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who haven't been following me that long, may not know this, but I lost 80 pounds 7 years ago by walking. And I would not back then have stepped in a gym to save my life, and I would not have even imagined myself being a fitness instructor at that point in my life. I taught fitness classes when I was in college. And then I took a break after I got injured in college and never really went back to exercising, and I stopped eating well after that. So about 7 years ago, I was at a really low point in my life, and I found myself sitting on a beach bench in California one night after work. I was working for a client out there, and I was just miserable. I just felt like I didn't know who I was. I didn't like who I was. I didn't know where I was going in life. And I just wanted to feel happy. And I didn't know how to get there. I just felt stuck. So as I sat on that bench, I saw all these people walking and running on the beach. And it occurred to me at that moment in time that maybe I just needed to walk 10 minutes or so to make myself feel better, to clear my head, to figure out my life. And what's so funny about that moment is that it was a pivotal turning point in my life. Like from there, so many things became better and more positive for me. So one day I started walking 10 minutes. The next day I was walking 15 minutes. The next week I was walking 30 minutes, and in 6 months I was walking 12 miles. So I fell in love with walking, and soon it became this habit that I formed because I loved it so much. You see, what happens is when you love something, it's rewarding. And we tend to do things in our lives that fill us up and make us feel good, like they're a reward. And if you find those things, you really need to embrace them. The trick is finding them, though. The trick is experimenting with different foods, different types of activities. Think about things you liked to do when you were a kid and start doing them. On the flip side, I would say that people who struggle mostly with food and not exercise, the real challenge for people with food is to look at the little things that they're doing. So if you want to build healthy habits, think about one small thing that you're doing that could maybe have a really big impact on your overall health. And I'll give you an example of one. So one example I give to my clients all the time is, what are you drinking first thing in the morning when you get up? Is it coffee? Almost 99% of the people say some kind of coffee or tea, right? And then the next question is, well, where are you getting it from and what are you putting in it? And almost everybody says, oh, I go to Starbucks and I get a venti, cafe mocha with whatever else, right? And it's always very, interesting to me to see what they're drinking and putting in it. And when I point out to them that, well, if you gave up that one thing every single day and only had it maybe once a month, do you know how many calories you'd be saving yourself? Do you know how much fat and sugar you would be saving yourself? Do you know how much better your body and your liver is gonna feel from not having that stuff put in your body every day? And they don't realize it, but it's such a small thing. So think about it. You go to Starbucks every day, you're getting your fancy coffee or whatever, or your fancy, flavored tea. Those are calories. You're drinking calories, and those aren't even nutritious calories. Those are junk calories. And some of them are 400 to 500 calories each. That's what you're drinking. So would you rather have 400 or 500 calories of really nutritious food that makes you feel good and energized and helps you sleep better, makes you better focused, makes you a better employee, makes you work out better? Or would you really rather have junk calories that give you an instant high but then give you that instant low? So look for something really big that's really small that you could do every single day for the next 30 days and see how you feel after those 30 days. Do you feel better after not having it in your life, or do you feel worse? 99% of the people feel better, guaranteed. And that's only by doing one thing. So the other point I want to make here is that when you're building healthy habits, focus on 1 or 2 things that you can do. Don't do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. That's one of the biggest mistakes I see people making all the time, is that they're trying to do too much. And it's too much change for our brains and our bodies to adjust to. They don't know. It's like you can do it for a week, and then suddenly by week 2, when life kicks in and the reality of living life kicks in and having to do those things, people just stop doing them because it's too much. You're doing too much. And it's too hard for your body to adapt to all of those changes at one time. So really focus on what's one small thing I can do for 30 days, and I can sustain that one thing for 30 days, nothing more. That's all you're gonna do. I think that it's so important to just look for those one small thing that you can do when you're first starting out to build those healthy habits. It's going to be so much more rewarding in the long run. You're going to find that you're going to easily be able to stick to it. And then by month 2, you're going to be able to add on to those things. It's so easy to want to do everything at first. I think that it's unfortunate somewhat in our society that, we have this, I want everything right now, right this second. I want to lose weight next week. I want it all to come off, and I just want to be healthy. It's kind of like the scenario where you go to the doctor and you just want a prescription because, in 10 days you want this cold out of you with that antibiotic. And unfortunately, when it comes to our health and our well-being, there's no prescription. The prescription is taking a long time to make those habits, form in your life so that you can adjust and adapt to them. That's the real way to making a healthy habit form and for you to be able to stick with it in your life. So just to recap, how do we make healthy habits? 1, we find something that we love and we try to do it all the time because it's rewarding. It won't feel like something you should have to do. Number 2, you focus on doing one thing for 30 days that is high impact, that's really going to make a huge impact in your health, but is very small, something really small. Maybe you put too much sugar and artificial creamers that are flavored in your coffee. Eliminate those. Replace them with some simple almond milk and some cinnamon. And you've cut a ton of calories right out of your diet. Just do that one thing for 30 days, nothing more. So look for those small things you can do that have a really high impact. And then last but not least, don't try to do too much all at one time. Take one step at a time. Remember that the slow one wins the race when it comes to weight loss and when it comes to your health. So with that, I just want to remind you guys that I am doing a free webinar on my 3 steps on how to get a body you love. I had the first webinar this morning with a bunch of lovely ladies. We had a great time. And I'm giving another free one on Tuesday, January 3rd. I'll drop the link in the video for you to go ahead and sign up. And I also want to mention that I am launching my brand new program, Eat to Lose Weight, on January 9th, where I am going to be talking about all of these type of habits that you need to build over a long period of time to really make the transformation that you're looking for. So watch for the links in the video, and as always, if you have any questions or if you have a specific thing that you want me to answer, feel free to drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what what your questions are, and I'd love to be able to answer them. Or if you want to, you can contact me directly at megan@skinnyfitdelicious.com. Bye guys, Happy New Year.